This is the Crisscross Show. I am back with a new episode, and I'm here to kind of talk a little bit about a lot of things. Kind of giving you guys a life update on me, sports update or my opinions on sports, and kind of a little bit more, just regular talks. So let's just get this started. So life update. So it's been a crazy 2-3 weeks so far. Um, Schools went from we may be shut down to we're going to be shut down for a week to we don't know when we're coming back, right? And me being a teacher, it's been kind of hard to kind of cope with all this. I've loved the freedom that I've had to kind of just sit at home, be on my phone, and then, occasionally answer emails or check work. So it's been kind of fun and, easy, but still work for me. Just kind of sitting around, it gets kind of boring for so long, especially when I'm typically up and moving, teaching or doing whatever. So it's kind of sucked to kind of have that life. I'm a person who loves driving, so, not being able to drive for the past 2 weeks is kind of sucked. I've been in this house for about 10, 11 days now, 12 days, where I really haven't left my house. I went outside to dribble a basketball for 2 minutes while I was waiting for groceries to come out, but that was it, and that was a week ago. So I haven't really touched outside. Some things that I've been doing to keep myself busy are my NBA basketball tournament, where I literally watched a computer go at it against each other, and I've done a tournament with some of the classic teams that I thought were worthy of being in this tournament and the top 2 teams in each conference. So I had the Raptors and the Clippers and the Bucks and the Lakers against some of the classic teams that I thought were great. I'm in my round of 16. I am going to watch a couple games later today. But yeah, I've also been watching my DC shows like Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Supergirl, Batwoman, Black Lightning, which is underrated, and The Flash. I've been watching that. It's pretty much the only TV I've been watching. I've been on my phone a lot. I downloaded RBI Baseball. I finally got the MLB Perfect Inning 2020 update, so I've been playing those games in between all that. I've also been playing a little bit of Call of Duty. Just anything to keep myself busy. I've also been trying to stay away from my phone because my percent of usage every week has gone up by 15 to 17% for the past 2 weeks, which is kind of bad. But I know when we get back into school and stuff, when we get back into the regular daily routine, it'll definitely go down. But I don't know. That's just my life update. My family's healthy, so that's great. I'm healthy. People I know are still healthy, which is great. But yeah, like I said, if you have comments or if you want to give me a life update on yourself, feel free to comment, message me. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. So yeah. Right. So one thing I want to get into, this is going to lead into my NFL update. But imagine this. You're working. You have a boss who you feel doesn't like you as much, who doesn't give you the credit where credit's due. And you do all this work, but yet you're underappreciated. They praise other people that are doing the exact same work as you. They never really praise you. And, on the down low, they're trying to look for someone else for you. That's just how life is, right? Sometimes people like you, sometimes people don't. We've all gone through that. Sports especially. Sports, you can be an athlete who's Mr. Consistent or Miss Consistent, who's always there, who's always doing every event, who's kind of always just there when you need them. Let's check the attendance list. We don't even have to look at them because they're there. That's basically what I'm talking about. Hard worker, always there, always consistent. Now, one thing I want to get into is sometimes your boss will just naturally not like you. You're going to get those bosses where they just don't like you. It's something about you that just don't like. That's everyone, right? That's with dating as well. That's, sometimes a person just doesn't like you. You can be the greatest and sweetest person in the world. You can, do everything for them. But at the end of the day, they just don't like you. Because that's just them, right? And so what I want to get into is Cam Newton, right? Everyone says Cam Newton's a hothead. He's kind of care more about fashion or whatever. And look, I don't know Cam Newton enough to speak on him, but from what I've got out of it was, look, he's a Super Bowl. He took his team to the Super Bowl. I think it was 15-1 record. Took him to the Super Bowl. MVP, right? Yes, he's been inconsistent. He's never had a consecutive winning season or whatever, but he's always been there, right? Like yes, his body's breaking down on him, but he's always been there, right? Like he's always been part of the Carolina organization. He's always been there, and now it's like he can't find a job. Carolina released him on Tuesday. He can't find a job. People are writing him off and everything, and it's one of those things where you go like, what happened to him? Like he was an MVP not too long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. He was an MVP. He was playing pretty good. He took his team to the playoffs, I think, or did something with them not too long ago. And it's been a pretty decent player. Like he's been an average quarterback. He hasn't been like spectacular like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, but he's been a consistent football player, like a Teddy Bridgewater. And that's the thing that I'm saying is Teddy Bridgewater can mess up a lot of games. He can get injured, but people are just gonna naturally like him, right? Cam Newton doesn't have that because Cam Newton on social media is living his life and is letting people know he's living his life. He's a little rigidy and everything, but he's just not, perfect. Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion, isn't better than Cam Newton. But Teddy Bridgewater got a job like that. Nick Foles got a job like that. You're going to tell me that Nick Foles is better than Cam Newton? Any football player is capable of that one magical season. I mean, Nick Foles went all out. Went all out in that Super Bowl run, right? What happened to him? They benched him for Carson Wentz, and then they ship him out to Jacksonville. And then Jacksonville says, yeah, he's not really that good. He's not St. Nick here. So they ship him out to Chicago. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick will have like a 3-game unbelievable game stretch, like where he's the most or the best quarterback in the league. I mean, going back to my point is, Cam Newton is better than Nick Foles. He's better than Teddy Bridgewater. Why is he being released? Why is he jobless? And I'll say this again, sometimes people just naturally don't like you. It doesn't matter how great you are, how great you've done. You can be employee of the month 10 times out of the 12 months, and your boss will still be like, we need to find someone better because I need someone that I can connect with or whatever. And that's just life. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's just what I'll say about Cam Newton. I can't really speak on him. I mean, apparently his Super Bowl post-game conference was bad. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, we let our emotions get to us. And sometimes when you hand a 20-year-old or a 20-something-year-old 15 million, 20 million, and be the face of our organization, it's kind of hard to kind of really put in. I mean, you don't want us to put any emotion. You don't want us to do anything. I mean, that's just anything. Any occupation in general. Like, you don't want us to put emotion into it, but when we get emotional, it looks bad on us. But, like, I don't get it. It's hard. It's tough. I think Cam Newton's a starting quarterback in this league. I think he can definitely replace a lot of other quarterbacks that are in their position right now. But he's not going to because people just, in my opinion, I think it's the liking thing. Like, they just naturally don't like what he's all about. Baker Mayfield, a different situation here a slightly different situation because I think Baker Mayfield in college is great, but I just think a lot of the things he does are very, very questionable. But that's just my opinion on that. All right, now I want to jump into basketball. So we've been away from basketball or sports in general for the past 2 weeks now. Obviously, MLB opening day was yesterday apparently, or was supposed to be yesterday, but obviously it's not going to happen. And I think this is good for both basketball and for baseball. I think for baseball, it is good in the sense that they can test this out. They play 162 games the whole summer. I mean, that's their whole summer. Their whole summer is gone after that. When they have days off, they have practice. When they don't have days off, they have a game that's 3-4 hours long. You're in that ballpark for 6 hours, and then you have to go home, get your treatment, next day go out and compete. Yes, you get paid millions of dollars, but I feel like the fatigue is a lot. I mean, Anthony Rizzo a couple years ago said I wouldn't want to play 162 games. Like, I just don't like it. it looked bad on them, but I mean, seriously, I mean, that's a lot of games. Like, that's a lot of days to be required to be part of that organization. And you got spring training, which is like games every day from like February to like the start of the season, which, in my opinion, is great for players that want to come up and, you know, want to show up in the league, or, you know, for other players, good to get some reps in. So for the MLB, my thing is, you know, maybe start the season a little later. Maybe start it mid-May, where it's a little bit more reasonable for the players to kind of get a little bit of more rest. You know, maybe 125 games to, you know, kind of bump up the urgency. Because if you think about it, a team could be 90 wins in the beginning of September, and, you know, they won't clinch their playoff spot until, you know, end of the last week of September before the playoffs. And it's just like, you know, like, it takes away a lot of it. Like, there's no real urgency there. I think maybe going 142 games and, you know, maybe starting like mid-April, and then, you know, giving players some stretch to kind of just giving them more rest days, more, you know, a little bit more time to recover, or just going 120 games and, you know, just going straight from May to, you know, September when it's over. I think this is good for the MLB to kind of test out, like, you know, maybe we should shorten the season. Maybe this is good for our players that, you know, we don't start till maybe mid-May or something like that, because I don't think any sports is going to come back at least until mid-May when they finally consider it. But speaking for the NBA, I've always thought they should shrink the regular season by at least 5 to 10 games, to be honest, because if you really think about it, the star players really play like 75 games. Like, they miss a game or two along the way. And I think reducing it brings up the urgency, and it gives worser teams more hope in a sense. Because, you know, 82 games, a team's 10 and 25, a team's 10 and 30, you know, about midway through the season, they just start to tank. They just go, well, free agency looks really good, and that's just, you know, you don't want that for any league. And I think, you know, maybe shortening to 72 games or 75, in my opinion, brings a little bit more urgency, and then, you know, kind of helps the players a little bit more. I also think what I heard on the radio, maybe starting it in Christmas, and then playing like maybe playing like 66 games from here to like maybe end of April, and then getting started with the playoffs from there. I think maybe that's better. And then you stretch out, you know, obviously, what is it? You stretch out the All-Star break to maybe like end of February, early March, to kind of give, you know, teams a little bit more, you know, just so when people go visit that All-Star city, it's a little bit nicer. I know in Chicago, when it was here in Chicago, it was cold. I mean, I wanted to go to all these festives and events, but it was cold. I mean, you can't really do much when it's cold. I mean, February in LA is awesome, but February here it sucks. Like, you're either going to get a really good day or you're going to get a really bad day. So, you know, that's just my opinion on that. And I don't know. I mean, for the NBA to come back, I really hope they come back. I really hope they make a decision by the end of April, whether they're coming back in mid-May or whatever. I think after mid-June, if they don't have a set plan, I think they should just cancel the season, and I think they will. I even think early June, like June 1st, they should have a plan. If they don't have a plan, you know, just kind of cancel it. Just kind of seeing how this plays out. I want to see basketball, and especially the Lakers were like looking really, really hot, and LeBron looked like he was really going to win his fifth MVP and fourth NBA title. And I was really excited for it, and it just kind of got canceled. So I hope that they come back, you know, mid-May. You know, maybe not have any crowd into it. You know, the first couple rounds, not having the crowd into it's not going to matter. It's not until the conference finals and the finals when I think the crowd really makes a huge, huge difference, when it kind of gets more to crunch time, when you're like, okay, my team has been this far, like let's help them out. So, you know, I just think that, you know, the NBA should come back. I just think that if they're not coming back by June 15th, shut the season down, and then figure it out from there. Because I think, you know, coming back after June, players have rested for 2 months, you know, to play 5 to 10 games in the regular season, to kind of get them back in shape, and then putting them back in the playoffs. I mean, a lot of players don't have gyms. A lot of players haven't done much. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, bigger NBA players. So it's not going to be as entertaining. But, yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that, you know, the NBA should come back. And I think the MLB should reconsider instead of 162 games. Because 162 games is a lot. All right, so a segment that I wanted to get into um, is one that I'm, kind of like I said, a lot of people go really. But one of these segments is, um, like I said, I was talking to someone from my job, a co-teacher, um, and not a co-teacher, just like a fellow colleague, and they were like, "Oh, you're a sneakerhead, right? Because you have like all these like different gym sneakers and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can consider me that." But then like I saw like another video, a YouTube video, and someone says like you can't really call yourself a sneakerhead if you literally only collect like one certain brand. Like they were saying that they used to collect like a ton of Jordans, and that people wouldn't consider them a sneakerhead because they just collected one person's shoes. A sneakerhead's a person who collects like a variety of shoes, like Air Max, Adidas, Jordans, and all these other different type of shoes. So me, I collect one type of athletic shoe, um, and I just always collected just one type of athletic shoe. I mean, other than my running shoes and my casual shoes, that's a different story. But for me, I've always collected LeBrons, at least as of 2014. 2014, 15 is when I really started getting interested in his shoes and whatnot, and just really wanting them. I didn't get my first pair of LeBrons until 2016, like September 2016. Um, so it's been a while. But one thing I wanted to get into is these new pairs of LeBrons that are out. 17 lows. Like I said, LeBron's lows for the past couple years have been like spot on. I mean, I know his 7, 8 lows, 9 lows have been pretty good. In my opinion, I think it gets good after the 12s. So the 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17. I thought, 14 was a little questionable, but they've been pretty good so far. So this pair, the LeBron 17 lows, is probably one of my favorite because the air unit, a lot of people are bothered by the 270. I like it because it makes me a little bit taller, so that's always great. But like I said, just the comfortableness of the shoe is awesome. Like, in my opinion, I don't consider myself a sneakerhead. I consider myself a LeBron sneakerhead, because like I said, I mean, these shoes he's had are just awesome. Like the Air Max unit, the protection, the cushioning. Especially me, when I used to do cross country, I used to always get like these foot pains because I used to go to the doctor, and the doctor said it's just your foot, like it's just naturally, like it's always going to happen when you run. Like you can't really do much. You can change a little bit of mechanics, but there's always going to be a foot problem. So I had shin splints, I had a stress fracture, I've had rolled ankles, I've had it all. I've had blisters on my feet just from running. Me, I love wearing LeBrons because the extra cushioning. Like after I finish a workout, I love wearing the LeBrons around school. Kind of around whenever I walk or go out, just because of the cushioning, just because I feel like it's safe. It's my foot's in good place. My foot's in good hands. I love the cushioning. So what I want to get into is the pair of LeBrons, the new 17 lows that I'm like obsessed with. And yeah, we'll get into that. So obviously, I showed you the Bugs Bunny ones, not Bugs Bunny, the Looney Tunes one, the Toon Squad. And these are really nice. I've never really worn them as much because they're just like plain like white shoes, and like white shoes, a lot of people don't like wearing them because they get dirty easily, and they do. I mean, with my other like light blue LeBrons or gray ones, they get dirty really easily, and I don't like wearing them because they get dirty really easily. And a pair that I'm like hugely into is the 17 lows. They're the Sheriff or the Final ones. Now, the reason why I'm so into these shoes in particular is because the gold, the gold swoosh, the gold like crown on the back, and I just think in general these shoes are comfortable. And if the shoes can look good and be comfortable, then you are already next level. I don't know why they're called Sheriff. I think it's because on the sole, it has like a sheriff star on it. And in my opinion, I like that colorway. I'm a little bothered that it's white for the most part. I don't have a problem if the bottoms are white, but if like everything about the shoe is white, I'm not really a huge fan. Yes, there's a little bit of black and gold, and I love that. And I would honestly hoop in those because I just think they're awesome. So yeah, those are probably when they come out. Like I think it's April 17th. They're gonna be awesome. All right, so the next one is one that came out today, or one that they showed pictures of today. Is the the light the bone or the beige or the creamy colored LeBrons. In my opinion, I like them just because I had a similar situation happen to me. The LeBron 15s a couple years ago were selling, and there was a sale going on, and I was gonna buy one of them. It was the black and gold and white, or um, the gray and like kind of peach colored one. And I went with the gray and peach colored one because, in my opinion, the bottom just looked like it could, if it got dirty, it'd look a little bit better. Um, and I ended up making the right choice because they can fit with anything. They can fit with a pair of jeans. They just look nice. The gold, I think, is you wear something for like a special occasion. In my opinion, I feel like the gold you can't really wear them everywhere. I felt like the gray you can't really go wrong with them, and I wore them all the time in the summer, just because they were super comfortable. The cushioning, the zoom unit was awesome. But the reason why I like the bone beige or creamy flick colored one is because I don't know. I mean, I just think that if I want to wear them in the summer, like they're a summertime color, right? It's like a summertime color. Like you wear, some khaki shorts and like a white black t-shirt, and you wear those shoes, and you can't go wrong with them. I feel like they'd get dirty easily, but I feel like they'd be nice. They're like a pair of white Air Forces or a pair of black Air Forces. Like people wear them casually, right? Like they wear them everywhere. They get them dirty. It's everything, right? So they're just like Converse. Like nobody cares if Converse get dirty. Like you'll wear Converse because it's Converse. And I feel like these shoes, you get a little dirt or smudge on them on the bottom, or on the bottom, like, or right here. Like you get a little dirt right here. Like no one's gonna care, you know. And I think that's what I like about those shoes is that if I get a little dirty, because I'll probably wear those for casual. I mean, I have my pairs of LeBrons where I used to just hoop for sole purposes, just to hoop, like my Soldier 11s, Soldier 9. My 16 out. Yeah, I won't really wear it unless I'm like, it's like a special like event where I'm like doing like, there's gonna be like actual people there, like where I can actually get an actual game going. So that's the only time I'll ever like wear my 16s to poop. But the rest of the time I'll wear them just kind of casually wear them. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that, and just kind of want to let you guys know about my pairs of LeBrons. All right, a segment away from sports. One thing I wanted to get into is, obviously not being able to go outside as much, kind of being in the house a lot, just working out on my own, finding time to just motivate myself to work out or do something. It's been kind of tough. And one thing I want to say about me in general is, I've kind of gotten back to my old diet. My old diet was the keto diet, or as good as keto can get. And the reason why I'm on that was because being home, all you want to do is eat. Like especially if you buy snacks like quarantine food, you just want to like eat. Especially since you're doing nothing other than like sitting down at home, can't really go out much. The treadmill, it's very unmotivating at home. I was told a couple months ago, like it's really hard to work out at home because at home it's where you relax, where you kind of just sit, watch TV, have fun, talk to family. And a gym, when you go to a gym, the purpose is to work out, so you're motivated by that purpose. And for me, going to the gym has always been something I did in college. Like I can go to the gym in college, I can be there for an hour and a half, 2 hours doing my workout. I come here at home, I work out at home, I'll run on the treadmill, I'll have something playing on the TV just to kind of keep me entertained. And then, when I'm working out, I find myself stopping a lot, checking my phone a lot, and just kind of sitting down a little bit more, and it's kind of hard. So the reason why I went back on this diet was to kind of help motivate me a little bit more, to kind of, continue to work out, but also, continue to, go on a good diet so I don't lose myself during this quarantine, so I don't start eating all the snacks. Because to be honest, if there's a ton of snacks at home and I have the liberty of just playing video games all day, I'm gonna eat snacks and play video games. Like I'm not gonna do any type of workout. So one thing I've done is just kind of just been standing up a little bit more, playing with my dog a little bit more, on the treadmill a little bit more, finding myself trying to get motivated with all this other stuff. So I've been motivating myself by looking ahead. And that's something I really don't like doing, is looking ahead. I just kind of like taking it day by day. I just kind of like succeeding this day, succeeding that day. I don't really like, making future plans, because a while ago I made plans. I'm like, oh, when this happens, when this happens, when this happens, I'm going to be this. Next, I didn't really prepare for that event. I kind of failed on that event, and I'm just like, man, like I should have taken the steps to get up there. And that's one thing I also want to say is, taking the steps, like taking everything step by step, no skipping any steps, going through every step that you need. Take every step, like don't skip steps. Don't be like, oh, like when I pass this test, it's going to be awesome. Study, take time to study, or do whatever. Like, don't skip steps. And that's one thing that I've been doing with my diet before, or even in general, like changing my eating habits. Like, I was inconsistent, and now I want to get back into it, but it's finding something to motivate myself. So I've been looking to the future, and that's something I really don't do. Like, maybe a pair of shoes comes out, and in the next month I'm gonna be like, all right, well, since I'm here at home and I'm not really spending much on outside food, this is my time to just kind of just eat, focus on me, and work out, do this, look forward to the next workout, do my workout now, but look forward to this and this and this and this, and hopefully progressively get better, and just try my best. So that's what I'll say is, I've been trying to get back into my diet. I have been doing it for about a week. I have been working out for a week and a half, just getting back into that. And that's one thing I'll say for you guys who are here, or if you're quarantined at home, find something to pass time. Don't lose yourself. Don't get that beer belly, or if you want it, I mean, that's you, but don't, find something to do. Keep yourself distracted. I know these are kind of tough times, but find something to do. Don't lose yourself. And when I say don't lose yourself, I don't mean like just weight wise. I mean like you mentally wise, and I think that's important for everyone. That's something I've been doing, that's been keeping me as the same person. So it gets kind of sucky when you're here all day, 24/7. So just find something to do, and that's all I really gotta say for you guys. Just, yeah. All right, so this concludes the end of my episode. I'm gonna try to get back on in a couple of days. I've been wanting to get on for the past couple of days, but I've just been like, maybe I'll give it some time. So yeah, let me know what you think. And remember to like and subscribe, and comment, leave back some feedback if you have any for me. Also, I'd love to do an Instagram live or a Zoom with a couple people, then upload it on here, just to kind of show people I have friends, or show people that talk to other people in general. Let me know what you're doing with your life and whatever. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to just kind of talk and do whatever. So just let me know what you think, and remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.